Oh, this is Victor. I'm here with a new part on the history of Age of Sigmar. This time we are going to cover the All Gates. This is the fourth book on the Realm Gate Wars and the last book on this saga. So let's first make just a very fast summary. Remember that there was a war between the Order and the Chaos. Sigmar he just came back trying to seize the Underhead and try to seize the control of chaos from the from the realms. He tried to finalize in the realm of death. There was a big fight in Giran, in the realm of life, and finally we have Alariel reborn. And yeah, in the realm of death, it seems that they try to have an alliance with Nagash. Well, there was a successful of battles. Remembering that he lost the battle against in the realm of Chamon against Archaon. Bandus lost this war, and with that, Archaon get the control of the Oracle, and yeah, Archaon also get the control of one of the God Beasts, and the other God Beast was killed in the previous saga or in the previous book. So we are in that point, and at this point Sigmar realized that the only way for him to have a chance for victory is try to have the control on a point that is called the All Points, or the that is here. It's a nexus, so it's the All Points is a nexus in the realms where you have a gate that is conducting to every single realm or there is a gate to each realm. So it's like a nexus in this wall. So here Archon have the full control of this nexus and have this horse of chaos just there ready to be deployed in the realms. So the priority of Sigmar is to try to attack all gates at the same time and try to close them, so in a way that he can stop the flow of Archaon into the realms. Of course, Archaon will try to avoid that, and with that he start a campaign in all the realms at the same time with a lot of strongholds, try to close the doors. So in this book we are going to see what is happening in the different realms and what is the end result of this mega battle or this mega war. So the first one is starting in the realm of life, where the Glotkin have the control of the armies of Nurgle, and they have almost the control of and he has the control of the gate. Just once the reborn of Alariel, Nurgle, emissary of Nurgle, went to Glotkin and told him that he has to protect the gate at all cost. So really they have to have the protection. So we start on the this is the first when the Nurgle go into Glotkin, warn him about the reborn of Alariel, the reborn of a god. They have failed completely in killing Alariel, and now they have to protect the gate. The gate is in one of these islands we see here. It's really a nasty looking wall, now corrupted by Nurgle completely. Here we have the leprous hills. Yeah, we have these things that they look like. It's called. I forgot now the name. We have all these things and jellyfish. So they look like jellyfish, and we have like rivers of pools and all these type of things. So Alariel put together the armies, and the first thing they do is they send a vanguard, a type of vanguard forces to scout and to find where the gate is hidden. So these vanguards are led by the Lord Venators, the Knight Venators, and they just do a very fast attack on Nurgle, try to identify where the gates are. In the meantime, the big bulk of the army of Alariel is advancing, and it's like moving without it's unstoppable. So really they are just smashing the Nurgle as they advance, and then in the meantime the vanguard sent composed by prosecutors and the Lord Venators are just scouting and trying to find where is the gate that they need to close. So we see here Alariel reborn with the his new mount, and really she is able to teleport this monster when she is flying, so she's able to fly on this on the monster. So in the first point, they were the prosecutors, and they were led by Tornus the Redeemer. Remember, this is the guy that was Thorglut at the beginning, was the Norgal lord that was redeemed into forces of the Stormcast, and he now fights in the side of the Order, and he really the one that discovers where the gate is. So together with the Celestial Prime, they fly and they identify where the gate is, and with this they can direct the army into the gate and try to close the gate. Of course, it's not an easy task. There is a lot of forces of Norgal controlling. As you can see, there really was a really tough fight, and they were different and a lot of layers of corruption and armies. So finally, you see that also the Skavens were fighting next to the Glotkin. So they were forces of the Skaven, they were forces of Norgal, all trying to stop the forces of Alariel. So we have the Glotkin. So we have a little bit explanation of the three brothers of Glotkin. This is the one of the brothers, the big monster that have been completely mutated, the warrior, and then we have the sorcerer. So the three are the three brothers that are the Glotkin himself. So really it was a big fight. The Celestial Prime was also involved in the fight against the forces of Norgal, and finally we have a tete-to-tete between the Everqueen Alariel against the Glotkin. So it was a very tough fight, since for a moment the Glotkin have the upper hand, but finally there was no you realize that there was no chances for the Glotkin, and just the queen, the Alariel, just have a full victory against the three brothers against the Glotkin, and she managed to close the gate in Giran. So this was really a big victory for the forces of Order, and Giran seems to be fully under the control of the forces of the Order. Of course, there is still corruption there, but now the realm of life looks to be more under the control of the Order. So from this was what happens in the Order. So here we have a victory. Okay, and this is the final fight when finally the Glotkin is killed, and also the Celestial Prime is just helping and being the bodyguard of the Alariel. Okay, then we go to the realm of Ochamon, the realm of metal, and here they talk about a fortress. The gate is inside of a fortress that is inexpugnable. And it's a fortress that is not static, it's changing. And they say that only once have been the fortress have fallen, and was when Archaon did a lead attack from all points. So really, here there is a strong fight, and in that attack we have Gardus with the with the Celestian Vindicators, that together with the Slayers are trying to attack the fortress. The fortress is so strong that they decided the only way to have a chance to win this battle is to do a tunnel, and then try to through the tunnel try to go into the fortress, so try to appear inside of the fortress. So only the fire slayers are capable to cave this tunnel, and this is the rune father Hursgar Grimnir, the one that is leading the fire slayers, and they go together with the Celestial Vindicators, try to have the control. So the idea is that they will make a tunnel, they will make a big distraction inside, so they will have attack on the at the same time on the walls, so the walls will try to make a distraction, try to force the forces of chaos to go into the walls, and then from the tunnel they will appear and they will try to by surprise to close the gate. So this was the main objective. Of course, this fortress is full of forces of Fench. We have also Thostos leading the Lord Vindicators. So I said Gardos, but I was meaning Thostos leading the Celestian Vindicators. And yeah, and at the beginning it seems that the plan is working well. They start having the control of some of the garrisons inside of the fortress, but then the silver worm, the one that is the silver in the worm in the realm of Shamon, starts supporting the forces of chaos. So it was only by the intervention of the big Dvakot that they start a fight between the Dvake and the Order Dvake and the Silver Dvake, Silver Worm. They have a fight in the skies, and the battle was really balanced. So there was a little bit of advantage in the favors of Order, and it seems that they were being able to be successful during the first moment of the battle. But then what happened is, one of the gun summoners start summon Archaon. Was not summon Archaon, but inform Archaon about the attack. The gun summoner really start changing the battle in the advantage of the chaos, and then Archaon arrived with all the Vanguard as in reserve. So really, when Archaon arrived, the battle was looking very grim, very bad for the Order, because Archaon just appeared through the gate. So really, Archaon and the Vanguard is in the way to the gate, and now the forces that just arrived to the fortress through the tunnel, they were completely surrounded between the forces of Fench and Archaon from the other side. They try to push as hard as they can. You see Archaon is arriving. They try to push as hard as they can. They try to cross the last bridge that is stopping them from closing the door. And this was too much, even for the Stormcast Eternals. The Vanguard completely started destroying them, and one of the last standing was Thostos himself fighting against Archaon. Of course, Thostos did not have any chance against Archaon, and the worst thing is when Thostos killed, the soul did not travel back to the heavens. So for some reason, Archaon managed to capture the soul of Thostos. So he was not. He will not be able to. They will not be able to reforge the Celestian, the Lord Celestian of the Celestian Vindicators. And this was here a big victory for Archaon and his minions. So really, at the end, the fire layers were completely slaughtered, and also the Stormcast Eternals were completely destroyed. After this big loss, we have some flashes about the two realms, the realm of Hysh and the realm of Ulgu, and here nobody knows what is happening. So they just explained there was not a lot of information from these two realms. One is the realm of light, the other is the realm of shadows, and the only thing we know is that we don't know who is winning there. We don't know if it's the chaos, we don't know if it's the light or if the other one is winning. The only thing to say that there is always something that protects this realm from being watched, and on top, if they try to watch what is happening, sometimes what you see is just a mirage of what is really happening. So especially as Uglus, there is the realm of the layers, so you cannot trust what you see, and really Sigmar don't know what's happening on these two realms. And then we go to the realm of the beasts. Okay, we go here where to Gur, the realm of the beasts, where we have a very special realm gate that they have to control. So this is a little bit what the schematics here we see. So the the gate is inside of this creature, this called the Fangarthvax, and inside of the Fangarthvax is the mouth gate. So it's inside of the mouth of this monster, where is the gate that goes to the all points, and this is what they have to close. So the Stormcast really wants to kill this monster and close the gate forever. This monster, as you can see, is surrounded by walking fortresses. So they are called the Crawler Fort, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crawler forts just attached to the monster. This is the way for the chaos to have the monster under control, under their will. But at this moment of the history, there is a lot of Iron Jaws that are attacking the fortresses. They try to have the control on that, and at the same time arrive the Stormcast Eternals, and they start fighting next to the orcs. But although they tried to ally with the orcs, there was no chances. So the orcs seems to really smash the forces of cows, especially corn, because mainly these fortresses are led by the Bloodbone. So this represents that is millions of Bloodbone warriors there, or hundreds of thousands of Bloodbone warriors protecting these fortresses, and the orcs are just attacking them. So it seems that the battle is quite balanced between the orcs and the chaos. Even the orcs do some tricks, and they send against the chaos big gargants. So there is a place where the gargants are living, and he managed to ambush some of the forces of the chaos and destroy them because they are surrounded by gargants. So it was really a fight of victory from destruction, victory from chaos. But mainly it shows how strong the orcs are becoming, and how they start really taking the upper hand against the chaos. Although all this, they were not able to assault the fortresses. When they tried to assault the fortresses, these fortresses were really difficult to siege. And it seems that the battle was in a dead point. Even with the help of the Stormcast, they were not able to balance the battle in either in any direction, and was completely stuck. What is good for the chaos, because in that way they can keep the gate open. But then what happened is Godvak, the feast of Gorg, arrived. Okay, we see here Godvak, the feast of Gorg, arrived, and yeah, this was also known by the Stormcast Eternals, that this is one of the leader of the orcs. So there is a Celeste, this guy that is one of the Night Zeros from the Night Excelsior, just went in front of Gordvak and tried to ask him to ally with the forces to fight together. And the answer of Gordvak is he just decapitated him. So really, he did not have any intention to ally with the Stormcast Eternal. Gordvak arrived, and he started just smashing Gordvak and the forces he drive. He started smashing both Stormcast Eternals and Khorne army and the Blood Bowl. So really they arrived like a green tide, a really strong green tide. He managed to put all the clans under his control. Really, he's a very strong leader on the destruction faction, and they start smashing everybody. So they start smashing Khorne, and they start smashing the Stormcast. The Stormcast are trapped between two fires, between two armies. They try desperately to close the gate, but at the end, the orcs start destroying the different fortresses. So as you remember, the Maw Gate was inside of a big creature that was attached to the crawling force, and what they start doing is they start destroying the force, and with that the chains start breaking, and then the creature with the Maw Gate was completely free. And this was really the objective of Godvak, was to free up the big monster, and then the big monster was liberated. So really the gate in the Gur, the gate on the wall in the realm of beast is not under control of anybody. So was most likely under the control of the destruction, as they really not care about allying with they also just arrive. They don't care about allying with anybody. They just arrive, destroy the stone cars, destroy the corn, and just liberate the beast from the to be chained to the crowd fortresses and destroy everything in the way. Next realm that we saw the war was in the realm of death. I don't remember now the name, to be fair, but in the realm of death, yeah, just they explain in siege, so it's called here siege, realm of death. Nagash again betrayed Sigmar, and he just did not support the forces of Sigmar when they attacked the gate. So the forces of Sigmar were destroyed by chaos, and again siege, the gate of siege was not closed. So we don't know if Nagash has the control, we don't know if chaos has the control there, but what is sure is that Nagash betrayed for second time to Sigmar, and does not seem that Nagash and Sigmar will be able to fight together. And then we go to the last realm. We go to the realm of fire. Okay, we go to Akshi, the realm of fire, where the fortress is very weird. Is where the realm gates war starts, and here is going to be the last chapter on the realm gate wars. So what is happening here is there is a big fortresses constructed by layers and layers of fortresses, and I think if I'm not wrong, there were eight walls, and each wall there is a big distance between them, because it's really the reality's twist in these fortresses. So they start attacking, and they start really breaking very fast the first walls. So the forces of chaos start progressing very fast into the fortress, but then they liberate inside. They liberate what's called Scarban Star also, and they also liberate the big worm. I don't remember now, the big worm, that the god beast that was under the control of Archaon. If you remember, in the god beast, this thing was under the control of Archaon, because he also liberated that, and he is so big that he can attack different fortresses at the same time. So really it seems that everything is going to be destroyed by the big worm, but then the fire slayers make use of the rune that they just put in the side of the face of the worm, and the worm was turned against the chaos, and the worm really start destroying forces of chaos and start destroying the armies of chaos, and making a big path for the army of order to start advancing and crossing the different walls in the realm of fire, to be able to close the gap with to the gate. Okay, and there was a moment that even the rune was not strong enough to control such a beast, and the beast was not anymore under the control of chaos and was not anymore under the control of order. So this big creature just decided that have enough, and he just left the realm of fire into the skies, into the heavens, or into the universe. So leaving just the forces of order and the forces of chaos fighting against each other. Here in the realm of fire, Bandus, Hammerhand, and the Hammers of Sigmar are the ones that are leading the assault. Okay. So Bandus is leading from one side, Scarban is leading from the other side, and really seems that Scarban is unstoppable, and on the other side Bandus is unstoppable. And what happened happened what everybody was expecting, is at the end Bandus Hammerhand is fighting 1-to-1 against Scarban. So this was a big fight, between, of course, the fight layers were also supporting the forces of order. So here, really, there was a lot of armies involved. So there was a big fight between Skarban and Bandus Hammerhand, and finally Bandus managed to win the fight against Skarban. So this was quite surprising, because remember, Skarban is almost unstoppable, but in that case Bandus managed to send him back to the realm of chaos, managed to send him back to the realm of corn. So after, as you see here, there really was a big fight. I try to go a little bit faster, but they explain how the effort they need. At the beginning they go very fast. Also the Imperius, the Lord Celestial Imperius, and all the extremist strongholds were allied or was together supporting Hammerhand, Bandus Hammerhand. So here we see the final fight between Bandus and Skarban, and Bandus managed to fight, to win the fight against Skarban, and with that he managed to close the door in the realm of fire. So here we see Bandus being victorious, and how they managed to destroy the forces of Khorne in this gate, and who managed to close another gate. And with that we arrive to the final of the end of the book. So remember, in Akshi, the realm of fire, Sigmar won. In Giran, the realm of life, also Sigmar have won. In Siege, it seems that Archaon have the control of the gate, and Nagash have betrayed against Sigmar, but we don't know by sure. In Hish, we don't know exactly what is happening. Nobody, we don't know, and the same is happening in Ulgur. So in these two realms, we don't know exactly what is the output. In Gur, it seems that there is a big threat with the orcs, and the realm gate is not contested by any of the two armies, since that is more under the control of the destruction. Shamon was a big victory for Archaon minions. So here we see completely split, some gates under the control of destruction, some gates under the control of Archaon. There is one gate that we don't know, and then there is two gates that are completely don't know what is happening. So quite open, quite interesting, and of course there is no victory for anyone. But this was not fully the end. Here we have the last part of the book, and here they announce that the Gaunt Summoners, the 9 Gaunt Summoners, are coming to the realms, and they are becoming the new threat. They arrive to the realms, and they start constructing the fortresses called the Silver Towers. And here we have the connection with the Silver Tower. So the Gaunt Summoners just arrived to the realm, and they are ready to spread the chaos and to start corrupting. And they come with the Silver Towers. So this is the end of the Realm Gate Wars, and here is more or less where the story finishes, and we are ready to see if Games Workshop will keep going with the history. So maybe this is the book that I really enjoyed the most. Was the most epic one. All the battles are very epic. I think the one that I like most is the two. The one that is on the realm of Shaman and the one on the realm of fire are really very interesting battles. Also I think they were very, very, very epic battles, more than in the previous books, because really these are the close-up and the battles are really very epic. So that's all for now. Please let me know what do you think. Let me know if you like the history in Age of Sigmar, if you like the fluff. Leave your comment below. May I have done mistakes? Remember, I just explained as I use a book to remind myself the history about. I try to be as accurate as possible. Maybe I skip some parts, but the main story is as I explained here. Give a like if you have liked it. Share if you think that can be interesting for other people. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.